I went from a skinny fat brown monkey to a more bigger and jacked version of myself. And in this video, I'm going to show you the number one mistake that stopped me from growing and how to fix it, so that you can also build more gains faster than ever and that you can break through any plateaus in the future. Basically, my story is that I did too much volume, my lifts never went up, and I was kind of just chasing the pump. And I was doing all of these things because, as a beginner, right, I was like a brown, skinny fat guy, and I wanted to get like that David Lade, that C-bomb. I wanted to get like a really good physique that I was proud of. And so I I took myself online and looked for the information, and people were just telling me, you gotta do this exercise at 3 by 12 reps. You gotta do it at this particular angle. You gotta do it for the lower head, the upper head, or you gotta do it for the inner head and the outside head, or no, the long head and the short head for the biceps. When in reality, you just need to build bigger biceps. You don't need to worry about the extra small stuff because that's irrelevant. And if that sounds like you and you don't know what to do and you're completely lost, go down below in the first link in the description, and you can just book a free call with me, and I'll just spit out game and give you advice on how to stop actually wasting time and just get to building muscle. I remember having like a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet, where it had like 10 different exercises with like 4 by 12 for every, like 4 sets, 12 for like every exercise. So I was like doing 8 to 10, and at the bottom I'd have total sets, and then further bottom I'd have total sets per muscle group. And I did this because I want to know that I needed my 10 to 20 weekly sets per muscle group, because somewhere online I remember hearing it is that you need to get 10 to 20 sets to build effective muscle growth, when in reality you don't. You really don't. It's practically irrelevant. What you should be focusing on is just like the intensity. Like, are you pushing yourself to a new level? Are you challenging yourself? Are you getting stronger on your lifts week by week? Are you adding another rep or two? That, like, focusing on like volume, like adding another set to your workout or to your exercise, that's not progressive overload. Progressive overload is adding another set and adding like more weight to your exercise over time. And when I was doing like the 10 different exercises with like high volume, my lifts, like, they never went up. I was lifting the same weight, and the only time where I would actually increase the weight would be like if I did like 3 sets of bicep curls for like 10 pounds, and I got all like 3 sets for like 10 reps. After that, I would move on to 15 pounds and then move up or do like the 10 reps again. Basically, I'd have to get all 3 sets of 10, and then would I only move up in weight. That, not only does that just waste time, but it's completely shit for muscle growth, especially when you try and do it fast as fuck. And now the third thing was chasing the pump. Now, I didn't like forcibly like chase the pump, but this is basically what my training was basically doing, right? I wasn't pushing myself, I wasn't getting stronger on my lifts. I wasn't progressing on any of them. And what happened was just my pump, I just ended up chasing the pump. Because when you're doing something like relatively easy, you're gonna chase the pump regardless, because like, again, as long as it's moving and getting like resistance, it's gonna get pumped up. And because I was like doing too much volume with to mild discomfort, I just by default started chasing the pump, because okay, I look bigger, I look stronger. Now let me just take some pictures and then I'll call it a day. Now, how do you fix all of that? You're doing high volume, your lifts aren't going up, and you're just getting the pump, but you're not really progressing to like a noticeable level by like your friends, your families. You're not getting bigger, you're not getting stronger. Well, you do that all by just doing training to failure instead of training to mild discomfort. Because a famous person like Mike Mentzer, he was like a bodybuilder in like, I think, the bronze era or the golden era, and he said like that quote like really stuck to me when it came to building muscle, is that a stronger muscle is a bigger muscle, and if you get bigger, you get stronger. So basically, this is your strength, this is your muscle. As you get stronger and stronger and stronger in the gym by your lifts going up through progressive overload, your muscle will also get bigger and bigger. So okay, this is strength, this is size. As your strength goes up, your size will follow. So it's going up, 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 and this is just following. So what this tells us is that in order to get bigger, you need to get stronger, and you get stronger by like going through progressive overload and like the hypertrophy rep range of like 8 to 15 reps. If you can go to filler around that rep range and you can just continue adding on weight week by week, you will get stronger. So if you're trying to go from like, I don't know, doing 4x12, 3x10 on every different exercise to like now training to failure, first is that you want to do is cut out 80% of like the volume that you're already doing, and you just want to stick to like 2-3 compound exercises, and then maybe like one or two isolations. That's pretty much like 4 to 5 exercises, like what you really need. And then the next thing is that you want to start going to failure, and you go to failure by like going all out, pushing through your limits, and just do it. Like if I had a gun to your head, you shouldn't be able to do another rep. And so that's like the failure that we want. If you did like if you do 2 sets, 2 failure with like a rest minute or rest time of like 5 to 7 minutes in between that, like in between the sets, you'll grow muscle up to you'll grow muscle. You'll get bigger and you'll get stronger. And again, as you get bigger and stronger, both will happen. You know, both will go up. Both will go up basically. So again, as you get stronger and stronger, your muscle will get, or the size of it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So just like to end things off real quick. You don't want to do high volume endlessly with your lift never going up, chasing the pump, because you're not going to build muscle. You're not going to make any gains from that. Instead, what you want to do is focus on like 3 compounds with like 1 to 2 isolations. Once you do that, you want to get 2 sets and go to failure on all of those. If you do like 4 to 5, that's like 8 to 10 sets per workout. And if you just go to failure on all of them, you'll feel like a massive difference. Like you're gonna be mentally fucked up in the head. Like, oh shit, I gotta do this shit again. Like the next time, bro. This was hard. This was challenging. Like working out should not be easy. This is like the main point I'm getting at. Because when you're doing your high volume, your lifts never going up, working out at that point is pretty easy. But when you like decide to like lock the fuck in and just train to failure, you actually like your mind's like, fuck, I gotta do this shit again. This is hard. This is challenging. Like I don't want to do this. You're gonna get these thoughts in your head, but if you just stay disciplined enough and just continue on progressing the overload by getting stronger and training to failure, you will build muscle and you will grow faster and further than you would have with like the high volume shit. But yeah, that's the end of this video. And again, if you want to get like a free coaching call with me, it's the first link down below in the description, where I will just help you set up a road plan or like a map just so that you can get to your dream physique. Peace.